rules and regulations about, or manners about saying salam, that on entering our house or going out of our house, we need to say salam. Hazrat Anas radiallahu ta'ala anhu reports in Tirmidhi that Prophet very lovingly talked to me and said, "O son, make salam when you go to your family. It will be a source of blessing to you as well as to the members of your family." So when we enter even our own house, we have to say loud, "Assalamu alaikum." And in fact, it would be much better if we say all the three words. Entering even in our own house, this will be a source of blessing and bounties of Allah for us as well as for our family members. Hazrat Qatada radiallahu ta'ala anhu reports that Prophet said, "When you go to anyone else's house, make salam to the inmates, and when you leave by making salam of farewell." So when we enter, when we leave anybody else's house, I shall be talking about this next after the concept of salam. Hazrat Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu reports in Tirmidhi that Prophet has guided another way. Whenever any one of you arrives in a gathering or an assembly, he should first of all greet those who were present there, and then sit down if he wants. So the person who's coming from outside should greet and should be the first one to greet the people who've been gathered there before. Afterwards, he should say salam again on leaving, and the first salam is not superior to the second. So that is, the salam when we enter is not superior to the salam which when we leave. So in both the times we're going to say salam. Hazrat Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, there are other rules and regulations for salam. Hazrat Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu reports in Bukhari that Prophet said, "The younger person should say salam to the elder, and he who is passing on the road, that is the person who is walking, should say salam to those who are sitting, and a smaller group should say salam to the larger group." So you see, finest of details have been guided. Then Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu reports that Prophet said that if anyone belonging to a group that is passing says salam, it will be sufficient for the whole group. And if anyone belonging to the group that is sitting acknowledges and answers, it will be sufficient for the whole group. And then we know that if the salam can also be passed on. We meet a person and we ask them or her to give salam to her mother or to her sister or to her friend when she meets or when she goes home. So this can also be done, and this is precedented. And when we pass on salam, this salam is a trust to the person to whom it has been passed on. And when this person passes on the salam to the person for whom it was intended, then this person needs to answer back in the similar manner as if he was actually being greeted by a live meeting. And similarly, by making a sign of the hand can also be answered. Prophet ﷺ, when he used to be far off, he used to nod his head also to make a symbol that he was saying salam. And saying salam would be, the next thing after this at meeting would be shaking hands. To meet by shaking hands. Hazrat Ibn Masud radiallahu ta'ala anhu reports in Tirmidhi and Abu Dawood that Prophet said, shaking hand denotes the completion of salam. So to complete our meeting, first say salam and then to shake hands. This was the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And what is the reward of shaking hands between the two Muslim fellow beings is, Hazrat Bara bin Azib radiallahu ta'ala anhu reports in Abu Dawud that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when two Muslims meet and they shake hands with each other, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive their sins. I repeat again, when two Muslims meet and they shake hands with each other, and along with it they glorify Allah and beg forgiveness for themselves, then they will be forgiven. So this is the merit and excellence of shaking hands between the Muslims and the believers. And then Hazrat Ata Khorasani radiallahu ta'ala anhu reports in Muwatta that Prophet ﷺ said, shake hands with one another. It removes the ill will and give presents to one another. It will promote love and affection among you, and enmity will disappear from the hearts. So, with shaking hands has been advised by Prophet ﷺ, and Hazrat Abu Zar Ghafari radiallahu ta'ala anhu reports in Abu Dawud that whenever I went to see Prophet ﷺ, he used to shake hands with me. And after shaking hands, the next step would be to embrace, to stand up, or to kiss anybody. This has been reported by Hazrat Ayub bin Bashir radiallahu ta'ala anhu in Abu Dawud, that Hazrat Abu Zar Ghafari radiallahu ta'ala anhu reports that whenever I went to the Prophet ﷺ to meet him, he used to shake hands with me. And then he narrates an occasion that once Prophet ﷺ had sent me for any expedition, and I came back after a long time. And then when I returned, I was told that Prophet ﷺ wanted to see me, and I went up to him. After a long time, when I was meeting, Prophet ﷺ was sitting. He got up, he embraced me, he threw his arms around my neck, and he was embracing me, and then he was kissing me also. And this was the greatest blessing, and this was the greatest pleasure, Hazrat Abu Zar Ghafari radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, that I got in my life. And then Prophet ﷺ said that when you love someone, tell him that you love him. So hugging or embracing and kissing is a way or a manner of letting the next person know that we love him, exhibition and demonstration of love. Similarly, Hazrat Imam Sha'bi radiallahu ta'ala anhu reports from the Prophet ﷺ that he received Hazrat Jafar bin Abu Talib. He was returning from Abyssinia, and Hazrat Jafar radiallahu ta'ala, when he came back, Prophet ﷺ embraced him and he kissed him between his eyes on the forehead. So this was a very frequent manner of the Prophet ﷺ. And similarly, Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she reports in Abu Dawud that whenever Hazrat Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha used to come, Hazrat Aisha says that I have not seen anyone more similar to the Prophet ﷺ in shape and in appearance of face and his habits of disposition and manners of walking than his daughter Fatima Zuhra radiallahu ta'ala anha. And Hazrat Aisha says that she resembled him most in all these things. And when she came, the Prophet ﷺ used to get up out of love, out of joy, and he used to advance towards his daughter and take her hand in his hand. He used to take her hand in his hand, and he used to make her sit at his own place. And there were many times when he used to kiss her hand also. So this was the manner of the Prophet ﷺ with his daughter. And now the manners of the Prophet ﷺ regarding his kissing and embracing was that whenever he used to meet any believer, he used to say salam. And then he used to shake hands. But then when a person used to come after a long time, he used to meet any companion after a very long time, then he used to get up and embrace and hug and kiss him. So this was the manner in routine, every person which he was meeting every day, day-to-day life. In a routine, there was no hugging and kissing, but when he used to meet after a long time, then he used to hug and embrace and kiss. And this seems very rational as well, you know. And then saying salam to take permission before entering the house. This is also an ethic which has been very clearly talked about in Quran. And inshallah, when we will be reading Surah Nur, I will be talking about in a greater detail that before taking permission, before entering anybody else's house, we need to take permission. And the mannerism of permission is by saying salam. As a companion, Hazrat Qalda bin Hanbal radiallahu ta'ala who reports in Tirmidhi and Abu Dawud that he had a few things and some articles which he was going to take to the house of Prophet ﷺ. When he took these articles, he entered without making salam and without taking permission. So without taking any permission and without taking salam, saying salam, he entered the house of the Prophet ﷺ. And what did Prophet ﷺ say? He said that he told me to go back, ask for permission, by saying salam and say that may I come in. Because it was the norm, it was a routine in the culture of people of Arabs that they never said salam and they never took permission, and they used to just barge in and walk into the houses, and they not just used to come because there were no doors, there were no curtains, and they just used to walk into the houses, not even till the courtyards, but they used to come even till the inner portions of the house without asking for any permission. So Islam taught them all these mannerisms. As a Jabir radiallahu ta'ala anhu reports that Prophet ﷺ said, do not give permission to the one who does not convey salam before asking permission. So permission has to be sought also, and permission we will seek by saying salam. Hazrat Rabi'a bin Harash radiallahu ta'ala anhu reports that once a person asked the permission to come in, and he just said, may I just get in? It was like a very crude manner the way he talked. And it was not refined. And moreover, he not just said salam also. Prophet ﷺ asked the companions to go and tell him the correct way and the polite way to take permission is to say what? Assalamu alaikum, may I come in? So this is the most refined and the polite and the most courteous way of asking permission to get in somebody's house. And then Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he used to seek permission when he used to say Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, may Umar come in? So he used to tell his name, he used to ask permission, and he used to say salam as well. So this is exactly the correct way of asking permission. Similarly, you see, then there was another companion who asked the Prophet ﷺ about seeking permission from his mother. Hazrat Etiquette bin Yasar radiallahu ta'ala anhu reports in Mota that I asked Prophet ﷺ, should I first take permission even when I go to my mother? Prophet ﷺ said, yes. Then he explained the state of affairs. He said that I live in the same house with my mother. Is it necessary for me even then to take permission before entering? Prophet ﷺ said, yes, first take permission. Then he again said, I am her sole attendant. That is, I do all the things for her. I have therefore to go to her very frequently. Prophet ﷺ said, in any case, go in only after taking permission. Would you like to say her naked? He said, no. Then go in after taking permission.